There we go. Hello, everybody. Let me just move this out the way. Can you usually see that on the camera? I don't think you usually can. Okay. Oh, I'm not on the starting page. I was trying to read this intro here for this one, just to make sure that nothing has changed from the other solo adventures I've ever played. Welcome everybody to Solo Rolling. I'm very excited for tonight because I am starting a brand new, by the way, I hope all the volume for everything's working. I am starting a brand new adventure tonight, and I don't remember how long the other solo adventures I've ran before solo rolling was a thing, back when I kind of just did the solo adventures every once in a while. But this one is very, very big. Very long. It's definitely going to take me at least 2 nights, maybe 3 nights to finish it, if I don't die, that is. Exciting thing about it is that this is part 1 of 8 of a series. It's the only one out so far, so I think it's going to be kind of spread out in the long run. I'm going to try to take a good amount of notes so that when I circle back to part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I will be able to do a recap at the beginning of each of them. Or people can find this video on demand and go and watch it then. So we are playing 8 Petals Argent by Randall Wright, right there above my head. Gorgeous cover, by the way. I was originally going to be playing a sorcerer for this one because I really like sorcerers, and I really like the Divine Soul sorcerer, and I like that sorcerers get to pick their subclass at level 1, and since this is starting at level 1, I believe I level up at the end of it. And I think I read somewhere in here that this series takes you to up to level 6, which is pretty cool. But because you start at level 1, I was kind of wanting to be a class that got to pick their subclass right away at first level, which I think is just clerics and sorcerers. However, once I saw the cover and read the description about the show, or not the show, about the one-shot or the solo adventure, I found out that it's kind of a Thieves Guild themed adventure. So then I was going to go with Rogue, and then Zoltar in our Discord mentioned I should be a Minotaur who thinks he's a rogue, but he is just very, very bad barbarian, or a kind of sneaky barbarian. So that's what I am. I am playing a new character tonight. By the way, if you're new to this show and you don't know what this is me playing Dungeons and Dragons all by myself on these things called solo adventures. And on solo adventures, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure mixed with Dungeons and Dragons. And I just try not to die every week. So yeah, I'm playing a Minotaur barbarian named Harry Three Fingers. Three Fingers is just his Christian given name. He actually has all 10 of his digits. But I thought that Barbarian's probably a decent choice to go with on solo adventure. I've got a lot of health at least, so that should be cool. I'm level 1 with, I think, 16 HP, maybe even 18. It's either 16 or 18. So, am I missing anything? You can't really see this donation thing. I was trying to move it around a little bit, but there's really not a good spot. These maps are white background, so here's what I can do. Sorry everybody, just give me one moment. I'm a professional. I always come ready. No, I don't. Whoa, that's not good. There I am. I am trying to make a background for almost. There we go. All right. There, so now I got a little background so you can see that ready-ish. Yeah, I started my countdown timer and then I realized I didn't have any of the maps ready, which by the way, this one had a lot of maps ready. So what I did was I uploaded them all to Roll20, but I don't have them ready like I have been on this show. So when it says like go to a certain map, I will have to find it and stretch it out and everything. But I don't think that's gonna be too big of a problem. Other than that, yes, a couple things. We have got goals for bits and donations and followers. If we hit any of those goals, we will do a big magic event that we've got a table for me to roll on. And also you can try to help me not die by doing the bits for advantage or disadvantage or supreme healing potions. Oh, shoot. My wife's watching now. Guys, now I'm extra nervous. So this one, I scrolled through a little bit of this. I didn't actually read this prologue yet, but I did see that I do have quite a bit of reading, so I got even more nervous about it. Holy cow, that's like 8 pages of reading. And because I was looking for this, I was looking for the how to start, because some of them have different things, some have different rules, like detect your max HP. This one actually gave me a little bit of a backstory for my character. So before we start, I will go back up and read that prologue, but before we do start, there's a little bit of history about Harry Three Fingers you might need to know. So as a youth, I lived on the streets of Waterdeep with some gangs of friends. I left about a year ago, and now I'm coming back to Waterdeep to visit them. I think that's about as much background we all need to know. And with so, I think we are ready to go. I'm trying to stall before I have... Oh no, there's more stuff. I was trying to read this before, but like I said, I was a little bit late. Oh look, my wife gave me advantage. Awesome. Thank you, baby. So, tracking marks. Oh, I need to make notes. Renown, event, lore. Okay, I got up a notepad. Renown points, solitaires. Use the renown system. Okay. Alright, I can, I start at 0. Okay, that's fine. And event codes, I know that. Lore entries. Okay, I think this is all self-explanatory. What are gates? Gates have simple or rolled versions. Okay, this is new for me, everybody. So this is probably new to you all as well, then. I've never seen a gate system before in the solo adventures, so let's see what these are about. Simple gate prerequisites do not require rolls. They refer to some aspect of your character sheet or some type of event status. In the first example below, you can only select the option if you have enough renown points with the faction. Okay. Second requires proficiency or extensive experience. The third is more generalized than a proficiency. You must reach something such as being proficient in Dwarvish and being able to cast comprehend languages. Okay. Rolled gates. Some gates appear in the form of a roll, typically an ability check. Okay. Oh, okay. Decipher. Oh, okay. So it'll tell me. So those are. I'm used to those. I'm used to having to roll to get a better outcome. Combats. Yeah. Combat conclusions. Okay, cool. So we are ready. I hope you all are ready for me to read you a little book. Because... Whew, this is quite a bit. Again, you throw your weight on the hauling line. Again, the bundle lurches after you, churning up dust in your wake. Having reached the top of the rise, you pause in the late day heat to wipe grit from your brow. The valley spreads out below you. The high road winding through it? I don't know what winding is. I don't know if that's supposed to be winding or if winding's a cooler word because I like it more. Stretching toward water deep on the coast. You look back at the side of your comically teetering companions. Habrid and Glutch were both with you when the coach from Daggerford broke down. You suggest the two elderly gnomes wait with the driver for the next coach, but they assured you their innovative telescoping boots would lengthen their strides to match your own. Gnome strides matching a minotaur stride. It's pretty nice. Cobble hops, Habrid called their magical footwear when he strapped on his pair. Just what a gnome needs to see over the crowds this year. To demonstrate, he sprung up as high as a troll on stilts, then immediately lost his balance, staggering across the roadway in long, careening strides. Only the gnome's equally improbable telescoping walking cane, my hobblecop, he called it, saved Habrid from a dangerous fall. Habrid and Glutch are priests of Gond. They are understandably fascinated by such inventions. They are heading to Waterdeep for the annual Days of Wonder celebration. People will come from miles to watch tomorrow's grand parade of the temple's many amazing automations and other colorful creations. For Ground's priest, the celebration is a chance to meet and trade tales of their work in the outlying villages. More important to Habrid and Glutch, it is also a time to turn in their official invention diaries at the House of Inspired Hands, showcasing creations like the magical footwear, and exchange those diaries for new blank journals. Despite the gnomes' excitement for the cobble hops, you quickly discover that their long, springy strides are ill-suited to pulling heavy loads. To stop the gnomes' complaints about you outpacing them, you soon found yourself dragging their luggage through the sweltering heat. Now, with Waterdeep finally in your sight, your relief is palpable. You'll arrive by nightfall, just a few hours late. You look forward to ridding yourself of this luggage and the two gnomes who trail behind you like swaying drunken storks. I like this one already. I really do. It's funny. Where would you be without your cobble hops? Glutch muses from beneath the shady brim of a priest's hat. They're going to be magic during the parade. The taller gnome stops to take his portly friend's hand. No one's going to block your view this year, he says earnestly. I promise. Your greatest invention is friendship, Habrid replies warmly, squeezing Glutch's skinny fingers. The uncomfortably touching moment between the elderly gnomes cools your annoyance with them. You think it must be a comfort to have a true friend with you on the road. Your thoughts turn to your own friends, who you left behind in Waterdeep when you struck out to find adventure. Unbidden, your hand settles on the letter in your pocket, the invitation you got 10 days ago. Rufio wants to meet you and catch up on old times. You've been hesitant to go back, too proud to admit that your adventuring career hasn't been as successful as you hoped. But the direct invitation is one that you can't ignore. Today you'll see your friends again. Well, perhaps today is the wrong word, you think, wryly. Maybe you'll get there by tonight. Again, you throw your weight against the hauling line, continuing toward the city. The sun is dipping low in the west, touching the tackless sea by the time you reach Waterdeep. You bypass the southern gate in hopes of finding a thinner crowd at the eastern entry, but the wait is still a long one. A large bonfire burns on either side of the roads as travelers queue up to enter the city. Most of these people have come for tomorrow's parade. They'll cram into lodgings tonight, anywhere they can find them. Some even have small tents intending to camp along the way of the dragon to reserve prime parade watching spots. A few of the visitors have already begun the celebrations, singing, drinking, and talking loudly as they move into the city. As you pass under the arch of the river gate, a cool coastal breeze blows over you, welcoming you back to Waterdeep. You hand Glutch the hauling line for his luggage and say your terse farewells. The gnomes are thankful for your help, but eager to get to the House of the Inspired Hands in the Sea of the Ward. They drag their bundle up westward, disappearing into the crowd. Real quick, I do have the perfect song for this. Or, not song, I'm using Tabletop Audio. And this one is called Waterkeep Night. I want to say it's probably meant to be water deep, but maybe licensing issues. Where was I? Right here. With River Street still packed full of carts and pedestrians, you decide to skip the crowds and cut north through the back alleys of the Trades Ward, your gang's old stomping ground. In a matter of minutes, you're stepping into a broad alley of the center of the slipstone street. You find the gang's rickety old wagon parked next to the familiar stairway up the second-story apartments. In the light of the nearby street lamps, you see that the lower floor of the building, once a warehouse, is now a busy bakery. That's not the only change here. Many shops here have new names, sell different wares, and everything seems a bit shabbier than you remember it. The economy hasn't been good to the residents of this quiet neighborhood. After a long, nostalgic moment, you mount the stairs and knock on the door at the top. You don't have to wait long. The bolt scrapes loudly, and then the stout door, heavier than the usual in this part of town, swings back to reveal a dark-haired man with 2 days of stubble peppering his jawline. You don't recognize the man until he smiles. Latch Boy is now grown. Latch Boy? And only a shadow of the skinny teenager remains inside the large man you see before you. Without preamble, Latch Boy embraces you. "Welcome back," he says, and then bows his head, or bows to you, into the Slipstone Gang's hideout. You enter the planning room, a long, narrow space dominated by a heavy wooden table used for eating, planning, and meetings of various sorts. The room is full of smells of baking bread. Even at this hour, the bakery below the hideout is preparing to serve an unusually large crowd tomorrow morning. The planning room seems smaller than you remember it, but instead of feeling cramped, it feels cozy and warm. The cloak rack remains broken, just as you remember it, but now it supports drying herbs that hang in tight bundles. Someone has painted a mural of birds and clouds over the corner kitchenette. A string of tiny clockwork toys, Bell's handicrafts, hangs over the window. A single boot rests in the position of honor on a shelf, a prize that 11-year-old Latch Boy stole from a member of the City Watch. You find memories in every corner of the room, some of which you were involved in the making of. Holy cow. Woo! This is a long one. The arrival of 2 more friends interrupts your reverie. They enter from the hallway to the private quarters. Rufio lights up when he sees you, radiating the light of his celestial heritage with a warmth that matches his smile. From behind him, Belle makes a wordless cry of joy. The gnome rushes to hug you, and you feel the strength in her arms and the crush of the ring mail that she wears beneath her cloak. You embrace Rufio in turn, and then the 4 of you draw back a set of mismatched chairs to sit at the table, eager to catch up on old times. You learn that your friends all stayed together after you left to find adventure, struggling to make a living here in the Trades Ward. Times are tough now, and the rest of the gang is out doing odd jobs. Night work on the dock pays better than labor on this side of the city. Most of the gang's jobs are legitimate now, since everyone is old enough to turn an honest trade. However, they keep all their old contacts, one of which facilitated a job the gang is preparing to do this very night. Heck yeah! You notice that each of your friends is wearing a dark traveling cloak as though preparing to go out. "We got your reply, so we thought you'd arrive hours ago," Rufio says. "The coach never arrived, and we'd given up on on you making it tonight." You explain how the coach broke down and you had to walk a long afternoon alongside some unhelpful companions. Although tired, you tell them that you're happy to help with whatever caper they planned. "Yes, I am." Your friends grin at one another. "Now that you've gone off and become a real adventurer," Latch Boy says, "we were hoping you'd lend us some of that expertise." Sorry, chat caught my eye and I lost my spot. Where was it? Yes, it is very good writing. I'm enjoying it very much. Here we go. This is the job, Rufio begins. There's a new faction in the city. Academics of some sort. They're called the Seekers. No one knows what they're about, but they've been buying up historic curios. They're paying cold gold for some very wild things. Over the last year, the Seekers financed some of the city's strangest scavenger hunts. Everyone's joining in, and the competition's getting nasty. We thought about getting involved early on, but some people got hurt, and it wasn't worth the risk until now. Summer got her arm broken by the Puritans just for asking questions. You remember the gang called the Crimson Puritans, a small but nasty group bent on expanding their turf out of the docksward. They clashed with the Slipstone gang more than once, but nothing really came of it. You also remember Summer, a local tiefling musician and adventurer. Many members of the district liked Summer, and she helped the Slipstone gang several times. Rufio assures you that Summer is alright before he continues. She doesn't participate in the scavenger hunts anymore, no real harm done. From his chair, Latchboy mimes the pain of a broken arm, as though disagreeing with Rufio's assessment. The latest request from the Seekers is the seal of the House Deepwinter, for which they are offering 12 harbor moons, Rufio says. The Deepwinter family is part of the city's history from centuries back. They ran a guild of jewelers. Although they died out in a war fought among the guilds, they still have an entire mausoleum named for them in the City of the Dead. Since the Seekers put out the call last 10 days, people have been trying to break into the vault to see if the seal is with the House Primarch. The City Watch got wind of it and posted guards around the cemetery district, particularly around Deepwinter Vault. To date, no one's gotten in, let alone found the seal, and the deadline for the reward is tomorrow. You wonder how Rufio plans to get into the Deepwinter's Primarch's tomb if it's so well guarded. Other groups will surely try tonight, with the deadline looming, some of which may include professional thieves or adventurers. Anticipating your concern, Rufio explains the gang's inside track. Do you remember that Ace used to tend a garden in the City of the Dead? Herbs and fungi? Well, she does it. It's off a side corridor in the House of the Homeless, down in those smelly old catacombs where no one visits. They moved all the bodies from that level centuries ago. They transferred it all up into the endless crypt. Everyone knows about the mausoleum's demi-planar expansion, but you might not know that the authorities didn't fully seal the lower catacombs off after clearing them out. It takes a long rope to get down there, so Ace's garden is never disturbed. When the hubbub about the Deepwinters came up, Ace casually mentioned that one of the iron doors down there has the Deepwinter symbol seal on it. Her description tipped us in the existence of a centuries-old Deepwinter tomb in those caverns. I've never been in the garden myself, but Ace has a map to get us there. Rufio pulls a square of parchment from his pocket and pushes it across the table. This must be the instructions from Ace. You give him a skeptical look as you pick up the parchment. You don't think the presence of the Deepwinter's family crest alone means much. That's not all, Rufio feigns a look of offense. We've done our research too. Small spent days in the clerk's hall looking through administrative records from centuries back. There's more we found, but that's the important part. The Deepwinter made tombs in the old catacombs before they were influential enough to secure a separate family mausoleum above ground. By the time the Guild Wars were concluded, the Deepwinter's opposition seized the mausoleum, meaning that the last Deepwinters to fall now lie buried in the tombs that everyone's forgotten. Ace's garden is in the catacombs, has been right next to it this whole time. There's an incredibly good chance that Parnock Deepwinter, the last Primarch, is there, and with him the family seal. So now, we go into the City of the Dead, but don't break into the Deepwinter's vault. Instead, we'll head for the House of Homeless. No one will be watching that. Despite Rufio's infectious confidence, you can't help but feel trepidation about the plan. You unfold Ace's instructions. The small square of parchment contains a single map, which you take a few moments to memorize before putting it into your pocket. I'm sorry we have to rush out like this, Rufio says. This isn't a proper welcome for your return, but time is against us. No nap and Too Small aren't back from their night jobs yet. We'll have to have a welcome breakfast when we're all back here safe. With that, Rufio, Bell, Latchboy get up and begin to gather the last of their equipment for a nighttime adventure. Since you haven't had any time to unpack, you stay seated at the table, already prepared to go. As you wait, a stack of papers catches your eyes. The top sheet is thin enough that you can read the large print inked onto the other side. It reads, Notice, Eviction and Forfeiture. You flip over the page and find some legal lingo about overdue rents and a judgment from the common court naming your friends Rufio, No Nap, and Too Small. The gang owes a large sum of money immediately, and the paper warns that forfeiture agents will arrive any day to receive the gold, to seize things of value in lieu of payment, or to evict the residents. The gang's financial troubles are more dire than you guessed. Concerned for your friends, you feel justified prying a little deeper. When the others are all out of the room, you flip through the stack of papers until you find something of interest. One of the papers is a receipt written in calligraphic script. It's for a diamond valued at 500 gold pieces, a spell component for the local Zorstar temple to raise Rufio Rudra from the dead. The date is 1 year ago. You summarize that Rufio died last year and the gang had to borrow money to pay for his return. No wonder they're all working all the time. The 12 harbor moons the Seekers are offering, together worth 600 pieces of gold, would help to fend off the creditors for a while at least. Ready? Latchboy asked, approaching the door while fitting his arm through a long coil of rope hanging across his torso. Me too, says Rufio. Belle shoulders her own rope, then signs to show readiness. The four of you walk into the warm night. In the moment, standing beside your old friends and preparing to go on an adventure, you feel right at home, like you never left Waterdeep. Woo! Yeah. Okay. That was good writing. I think usually when you play these solo adventures, you probably read that all in your head instead of reading it out loud, so it's very good, but very long. I think we are ready to get in this adventure. By the way, can I say, I don't think I've ever gotten to go on a heist or anything like that in my Dungeons & Dragons experience. I've DM'd a heist or two. I've never got to go on one, so I am very excited to continue on this heist, but my Adobe keeps popping up. Go away. I can't click the hyperlink. There we go. Wait, do I have to go here? Where was it supposed to take me to? Interlude. Oh, I don't have to do the interlude. I already read all this. Okay. Chapter 1. Yeah, if you weren't if you weren't watching at the very beginning, by the way, I didn't get my follower notification, but thank you whoever did follow and help us get close to that 250 follower goal. I am not actually a rogue. I am a Minotaur barbarian who thinks he's maybe sneakier than he really is. So this is probably going to go pretty bad. We'll see. I do have +3 to stealth, so I mean I got something for a big cow. The night air is warm as you leave the hideout ahead of your friends. You step onto a landing overlooking the alley adjoining the Slipstone Street. The neighborhood seems deserted, but you still hear noisy crowds on the high road just a block south of you. The city is alive with a distant revelry. Your companions each recheck their equipment, and Rufio produces a heavy key to lock the hideout's door. Okay, here we go. You may leave some of your equipment in the hideout for safekeeping if you wish. To do so, simply note which items of your character sheet you want to hide. Oh, okay. So I don't think I got anything. Just looking at my sheet real quick. Since I'm only level 1, I just took, all the whatever D&D Beyond just kind of gives you. I mean, I got some rope. I don't want to leave that. I got a torch, water skin. No, yeah, I'm not going to leave anything. Lore. Oh, okay. So I just... Hey. Uh, my... My... Adobe Reader's messing up. Hey. It's not letting me click anything. Oh no, I might have to close out of my Adobe and reopen it because it is not working right now. Let me try that. Sorry everybody. I've never seen it do that before. Here it is. There we go. Just let me do stuff again. Okay, so I'm going to copy all of this. That wasn't the module that did that. That was my Adobe Reader. Alright. So I've got 2 pieces of lore now. This is your first time encountering lore entries. Copy the color text into your play journal. Note for each that you can access it since neither has a prerequisite. You can navigate manually to and from. Okay, cool. Let me make sure I actually save this notepad because a lot of times I will forget. There we go. Instead of descending the wooden staircase to the street level, Belle grabs a dangling rope that lies hidden in the shadow of a drain pipe. Each of your companions climbs the knotted rope in turn, and you follow them up 3 stories to a tiled rooftop. So I'm just a big 8-foot tall minotaur, probably about 600 pounds, just hoofing it, pun fully intended, up to this rooftop. A surprisingly strong wind here blows warm off of the sea. From your vantage, you look over the water-deep rows of street light, wind wind like rivers through the darks across the city, and you can see crowds moving slowly in the light of public squares. To the west, not half a mile away, you see the rise of Castle Waterdeep's spires. The castle stands on a hill overlooking the city. Long banners add color to the structure's outer walls, lit by magical lights. Your group picks its way to the north along a steep, angled rooftops, climbing and jumping carefully when the roof varies in height. You pass quietly by the Zorstar Temple, rising several stories above the other buildings in the block, and continue north to Pranter Street. A single block remains between you and the walls that surround the City of the Dead. You are prepared to descend to ground level when Rufio grabs your arm. Look there, he says, pointing at an alley across the street. You look, seeing 6 figures skulking in the darkened courtyard. Oh, I'm gonna kill them. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Maybe. Of a guild hall. They are out of sight from passerby on the street, but you can make them out clearly from your vantage point. Periton, says Latchboy. We should go teach them not to look so ugly while loitering in our territory. You're surprised to hear that the Crimson Peritons are operating so closely to Slipstone Street. Your gang's rivals seem to have grown bolder since you left Waterdeep. That's right, because my fucking muscles left. Rufio shakes his head at the suggestion. That's not what we're about tonight. Or ever, really. Let's just implement our plan. The 4 of you back away from the edge of the roof, and Rufio fills you in on what's to come. We're going in teams, Rufio says. You've got some experience, so you're leading one of the teams. You remember, with some discomfort, how your friends overestimate your adventuring experience. Oh, I get renown +3 with Slipstone. This is your first encounter with a renown, so... I will have Slipstone. Is it Slipstone? Yeah, Slipstone +3. All right. Cool. I'm liking this renown system. By the way, yeah, it's really cool playing these different solo adventures from different authors because the last series I ran so far, all of the episodes I ran on solo adventuring were from the same author, which were all really good. And now this one is just it's a lot different, and it's cool how they pretty much is always going to be something that you will enjoy from one author or another, or all of them. Um, you wouldn't call yourself an experienced adventurer. Seeking your fortune away from the city hasn't really worked out for you. Yeah, probably because I'm a big cow and I keep thinking I'm super sneaky. But somehow this doesn't seem like the right time to admit as much to your friends. Choose Latchboy or Belle to come with you, based on the approach you'd like to take into the city of the dead. Rufio continues. Latchboy's plan is just walking in the front gate. We got 2 official grave tender disguises from one of our contacts. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. Rufio pulls some heavy robes from his backpack. If you feel like you can talk your way in, take Latchboy and try to pass yourself off as a grave tender employed by the Carver family. The guards might be on alert for this sort of trickery. They know the Seekers put a bounty on something in the Deep Winter Vault. But the watch is fewer in numbers since there's so many on patrol tonight. You'd have to leave behind any large armaments. They definitely notice metal armor, a shield, or a two-handed weapon. I can't do that one. I can't do that one because I haven't mentioned it, but Harry Three Fingers has a glaive for my main weapon. Dang. That really sounded fun to do that one. Even though I agree, I don't think it really makes sense. I don't think I'd be able to pass off as a guard. Alright, what's this other plan? Rufio lets us sink in for a moment before describing the other approach. The second plan has you leaving the city with Belle. You can go out over the river gate and into the Undercliff region east of Waterdeep. From there, you will approach the east, sneaking to the base of the bluff below the city walls. The district walls have watchtowers, and the guards are unusually vigilant to watch that direction. So don't light any fires or make any loud noise. There's a pipe that empties out onto the cliffside. It's an outlet for excess rainwater collected in the cemetery district. You and Belle will climb the cliff to the drain pipe, wade into it, then climb the chute that channels rainwater into the drain pipe from above. That will take you right into the city of the dead, near the house of the homeless, with plenty of cover to finish your approach. You have less chance of discovery this way, but it might take longer. And remember, we need to be out of the district before sunrise. If both teams make it through, we'll meet inside the mausoleum, but neither team should wait more than 30 minutes for the other to arrive. One last thing. Be careful not to kill anyone in the City of Dead. Something seems to pass between Rufio and Latchboy here. Nothing needs to get hurt for this, and a dead body would bring down too much heat, particularly if it's a member of the Watch. Okay. Now, I've been saving this protective scroll for a moment just like this, so hold still and I'll use it on the 3 of you. Latchboy and Belle don't look happy about this. They seem concerned about the expense of wasting a magic scroll, but Rufio pays them no heed. He unrolls the parchment and reads the words of power. An aid spell. Oh, yes. Maximum hit points is increased by 5. I love you, Randall. Thank you. Thank you so much. Holy cow. That is a lot of HP. For a level 1, I've got a lot of HP, it seems like. Alright. So I can take a few minutes to decide which route to take. Accompanying Latchboy means doing a lot of fast talking. Going with Belle means crawling through tunnels and poop and stuff. So, I mean, you know, the beauty of solo rolling and me playing these solo adventures on Twitch means that you on chat get to help me out. Unfortunately, this one I feel like... I feel like this one's not too much of a choice for me because I went Barbarian instead of Rogue. And since I'm Barbarian, I picked my main weapon's a big glaive. And number 1 strictly says I cannot take two-handed weapons. I do have hand axes and javelins. But I just feel like leaving my main weapon behind, I might not be able to do that. And the other one seems like I'm going to have a lot of climbing and stuff, but I feel like with my athletics skill being so high, I should be good. What do you all think? Leave my glaive behind? I don't think I can leave my glaive behind. I think I gotta go underground for this one. Yeah. Yeah. You choose to accompany Belle, approaching the cemetery from outside the city walls. With that decided, Rufio and Latchboy don the grave tender disguises, preparing to talk their way to the city of dead. You help your friends check their disguises, and then make your farewells. If all goes perfectly, you'll all meet up at the House of the Homeless. Failing that, at least one team has a chance to make it to the tomb and discover the Deep Winter Seal. You follow Belle south and east along the rooftops, picking your way carefully across the mossy old tiles until you come to an intersection of Branter Street and Quill Alley. Belle points out a convenient rope ladder, part of a fire escape route. This descent will take you to the street level at a point just beyond sight of the Crimson Peritons lurking across the street to the north. Oh shoot, I forgot about them. The ladder doesn't reach all the way to the ground, but someone placed a convenient crate a short drop below it. With a firm hand sign, your gnomish companion tells you, oh, so it's a gnome and a minotaur. I didn't realize that Belle was a gnome. You can make the drop without trouble, and she proceeds down the rope ladder as you watch out over the alley. Then, as she reaches the last rung, you start your own descent. You've only gone a few rungs when you hear the impact of Belle's soft boots as she lands on the crate below. Unexpectedly, the sound of shattering glass accompanies the impact. By the time you get low enough and drop onto the crate, Belle has inspected the source of the sound. She shows you a series of hand signs, many too rapid for me to interpret, but you recognize the sign for trap. A glance at the conveniently placed crate shows a glass bottle under each of the corners, placed to shatter loudly if anybody drops on the crate. You are certain this trap is the handiwork of the Peritons lurking nearby, and that they heard the sound. Dang it, Belle. Why didn't you peek that? You and Belle flee south along the deserted alley, and you immediately hear the sound of pursuit. As you pass through a narrow portion of the alley, you check over your shoulder, and a short distance behind Belle, who's pumping her short legs as fast as she can, 4 Crimson Peritons are in hot pursuit. The red dye in their hair confirms their identity as their short blades in their hands make their intentions clear. If you have a bag of caltrops or ball bearings, you can scatter the contents here to slow pursuers. Alternatively, if you cast Entangle or Grease, you can delay them. Oh, no. I don't think I have any of those. Let me see. I don't think I've got... Nope. I don't have any cool stuff. Yet. Okay. The Crimson Peritons are growing closer. At this distance, you can hear their jeers and threats. Ahead, the cobbled alleyway offers 2 routes. You can turn left down the wide way towards the Court of the White Bull, where merchants might still be selling wares from the back of the wagons despite the late hour. Or you can go a bit further to Dayloon Alley, a long, straight run sure to be devoid of witnesses. Oh. Okay. Do I go... Do I go with witnesses or no witnesses? Covert or public? I don't know. I have no idea which either of these is gonna happen. So Justin's saying go public and kill everybody. Kill the kill the witnesses, no witnesses. So we don't want witnesses. Okay. Either way, we don't want witnesses. So it sounds like we want to go covert. 1-124. With Belle close behind, you flee down Dayloon Alley. This route runs parallel to the high road, separated by a row of tall houses and shops. You can hear traffic and pedestrians to the west to you. Visitors are still coming into the city through the nearby river gate. As you run, you see a narrow gap between two buildings. If it's large enough, the two of you might be able to slip through and lose yourselves in the bustle of traffic on the other side. You slowly approach the thin alley. A hopeful glance down its length shows street lamps flickering on the far side, illuminating the slow press of the moving crowd. Safety is there, but the gap looks improbably narrow. If your size is small, mine is definitely not, you can squeeze through the gap with Belle. Dang. Or if you have a climbing speed or a flying speed, you can make it over the gap while Belle treads her way through it. If you qualify for this escape, you can accomplish it. I don't. The gap doesn't look like something you can manage, and with Belle unwilling to leave you behind, the two of you pick up pace and continue running south. You make it to the end of the Dayloon Alley with Belle not far behind. Unfortunately, your pursuers have gained ground. You will have to make a quick escape now, or make a stand here in this deserted alleyway. I don't think we can take on 4 of them. Immediately on your left is a row of houses that prompts a memory. You're in a terrible territory of the Bull Riders, a street gang that holds ground around Salad Bar Street. You remember that the Bull Riders are friendly to the Slipstone gang and have no love for the Crimson Puritans. Yes. If you can remember which of these 3 houses is their hideout, you might request secure from the gang. Alternatively, you can knock on a door at random. Okay. Okay, so I can either... Thieves can't... I don't have Thieves Can't. Dang it, I should have been a rogue. Or intelligence check of 15. Okay, I'm gonna make my first roll of the night. I have to make an intelligence check of 15. Guess what? My intelligence check ain't that good. It's a -1. Whoa! I just got a 0. I have no clue which house it is. Oh. See, now Brittany did give me an advantage. Yeah, I'm going to use my advantage on that, because I think it's going to be pretty important that I find this right door. So this is my only advantage I've got right now. Oh. Is that a 16? That is a 16. Whoa. Okay, cool. So I beat it. So I get to go right to 56. You move... for a second, I have no fucking clue. And then it dawns on me and I remember exactly which door to go through. You move confidently to the third door, getting a better look at the series of subtle cuts and the wooden lintel. This is certainly the correct one. The hideout of the Bull Riders. As you knock, Belle tightens the strap on her shield and stands behind you, facing your pursuers. Through the smoked glass panels on the door, you see the house's entry room go dark in response to your knock. As someone snuffed out a lamp, a moment later the door opens to reveal 4 humans. One has a long gray beard, another looks barely old enough to wield the spear he carries. In response to the door opening, The men who were chasing you slow and stop. They wait at the end of the block, waiting to see if someone will let you in. You identify yourselves as members of the Slipstone Gang and tell the 4 humans your mutual enemy, the Peritons, are lurking nearby. Your pursuers' red-dyed hair is enough to mark them as members of that gang, even at this distance. The bearded men wave you inside immediately. Heck, yes. Yeah, nice, Emerson. I'm telling you, the link will get posted again in a minute, but yeah, I know. I think the bull riders see a minotaur and they would let me in right away. I think I went to 180, correct? Yeah. You wait for about 10 minutes with your quiet host, passing the time with a deck of ornate cards. Eventually, the younger one, who is peeking past the curtains, says your pursuers have given up and gone north. Your host escorts you out a back door that leads to an alley, give you directions to River Street. You thank them before leaving, then wind your way through the narrow alley until you recognize your position just 2 blocks from the city's eastern gate. Everybody, we're doing pretty good so far. And yeah, even if you're watching this, you can definitely play this adventure yourself after the fact, and it's just as good. I forget which adventure it is. There's one adventure I really wanted to run a second time because I got like a pretty crappy ending, and I wanted to get a better ending, and I think it would still be fun a second time. Did I go to 59 or 58? It was 59. When you make it to River Street, you get the distinct feeling that you are going the wrong direction. The traffic is... Did I go to 59? Where was I? Oh, shoot. My back button on here doesn't work. Was it 59, everybody? When you make it to the River Street, you get the distinct feeling that you're going the wrong direction. The traffic is all moving the other way, and you find yourself struggling to move against it. You and Belle are among the very few people leaving the city at this time of night. Most are still coming in, moving towards the city center. The morning crowds are going to be even thicker as last-minute visitors come to celebrate the Day of Wonders. As you approach the river gate, a vigilant guard stops an incoming merchant wagon, giving you and Belle room to leave the city through a gap created. Once beyond the city walls, you move east off the road, away from the line of carts, wagons, and pedestrians lined up for the river gate. A narrow footpath leads down a steep hill toward this distant collection of outlying farms in the Undercliff region. Belle leads the way, her short legs carefully navigating an uneven trail. In a few minutes, you've reached the bottom of the hill, away from the walls of the city, and there are no sources of light nearby. If you do not have dark vision or some similar special ability that lets you see in the darkness, your companion will light a torch to help you see. I know it said not to light fires, though. But Belle's gonna have to light a torch. We got another choice here, everybody. Do we go north? Let's move north through the trees along the base of the cliff. Or to follow the northeast branch of the trail out of the copse of trees and toward another. I don't know. I don't really know which of those. Since I'm gonna have to a torch lit, I kind of want to be whatever is blocking me. Maybe like through the trees. Go north. Move north. Okay, we're going north. Oh, what is this? Did it take me to the right spot? A bad guy here? You are facing one of several Crimson Peritons who recently pursued you. Wait. Oh, Randall. Randall said that's not supposed to happen. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, where'd this guy come from? Let me find where it was. I think I was, Randall, I'm glad you're watching. What number was I on? Sorry, buddy, 1 second. Not that one. What number was I? How do I not remember what number I was on? I wish on Adobe the back button worked. That would be really cool. Oh, it sounds like it's getting like one of these is the ones I was supposed to be on. Oh, you know what? I think I could search for, 59. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Yes, this is where it was. Thank you. Thank you, Randall. And we wanted to go to 36. Okay, so the link for some reason took me to 35 instead of 36. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought that dude just like popped out of the trees at me or something. You follow the trail to the northern end of the this strand of trees. There you find a series of 3 old buildings. These probably once housed a farmer's family, but the buildings are now empty and ruined, perhaps abandoned in favor of the more modern settlement that you know is just a bit north to you. The largest of the 3 buildings was once a cozy cottage. All that remains are a pair of weathered walls, a stone chimney. Without a roof, tall grass and thin trees grow where a family once resided. The next structure is a circular with a conical top over its thin metal walls. Rust has holed out parts of the structure and thorny brambles grow out of it. The final building is nothing more than a few scraps of wood atop a grassy hill. Perhaps once a shed or a tiny stable suited to a single beast of burden. There are a few rotten timbers remaining within the tall grass. Explore the buildings. Follow the footpath, again going north, or northeast to cut across the field, putting some distance between you and the cliffside. I'm going to leave this one up to you, chat, again. I don't know if I really need to explore these buildings. I'm sure, like, if I go in, there probably is something for me, knowing solo adventures, but at the same time, I know that I'm kind of pressed for time. I need to get in and out by sunset, or sunrise, I mean. Yeah, Danny, that was my thinking exactly. I'll keep going north, because, I mean, I gotta get back by sunrise. So, I'm gonna remember, I'm going to 83, so 83. You prepare to move north along the base of the bluff upon which Waterdeep perches. However, before emerging from the trees, Belle puts a hand on your arm and points to the watchtowers far above. She signs that she is nervous about watchtowers seeing you from the approach. If you're using a light source, you'll have to change tack and get some distance from the city wall before proceeding north. Okay. So I'll go to 160, because I am using a light source. You leave the wooded area that contains the 3 ramshackle structures, moving east to get additional distance from the watchtowers. You find a path through grass that eventually disappears. Finally, judging yourself a safe distance, you turn north, going to 108. You move north through the tall grass. To the west, you can barely make out the cliff upon which stands the city of Waterdeep. At this distance, no one on the walls will notice you. As you approach, The oddly flat terrain ahead of you reveals itself to be a farmer's field. You see the silhouette of a figure reclining against a gnarled tree on a tiny hill overlooking the field. Although the farmer might be asleep, a large dog sits beside its master, clearly awake and alert. Oh, this is a tough one. I don't want to like hurt a dog. Like if a dog comes and tries to attack me, I'm not gonna hurt a dog. But do I go up to the farmer and like see what he's about, or do I just keep going and hope that they don't see me? Danny, I need you again. What are we thinking? I hope my internet's doing okay. Alright. Approach the resting figure, going to 64. You approach the hillock and find the farmer already moving in your direction. You greet her awkwardly as her dog makes Okay, so it's a nice doggy. Yes! I'm so glad we went this way. I want to pet that doggy. The farmer is interested in why you are wandering these fields at night. You explain that you and your friend here are on your way to Waterdeep. You tell the farmer that you wandered off the road for a quiet place to make a meal, and then you became lost after the sun went down. Farmer seems suspicious, but your story is plausible. She warns you to be on the lookout for refugees or beggars from the city, claiming that they sometimes wander the area and can be dangerous. People sometimes go missing in the area. Having lived in Waterdeep yourself, you think that there are probably these are probably dubious claims, but you feel that you tell the farmer that you'll be careful. After the farmer provides instructions to go back to the tradeway, you and Belle wander away into the night, vaguely in the direction indicated. I do want to make a point that I definitely pet that dog. Make a charisma check with disadvantage if you're not using light source. So I am using a light source. So I get to just make a regular persuasion check. Guess what? You only get to pet the dog if it catches you sneaking past. Do you really? If you're sneaking past and the dog catches you, do you really get the option to pet it? Okay. Unfortunately, I did get to pick between, when I was making my character, between perception and intimidation. Persuasion. And I thought that it definitely made more sense for me to have, and it gives you advantage if you pet it? Oh, Danny, we picked the wrong one. Or inspiration. But yeah, so I picked to get proficient in intimidation instead of persuasion. So now I've got a big +0. Oh, that looks like it was a good roll. Is that 18? Oh, heck yeah. This farmer loves me because I look like a cow. So it's like, oh yeah, I've seen a cow before. The farmer accepts my explanation and nothing further comes of your encounter. Otherwise, add the event Undercliff Alarm. Ooh. I like it. This one has a lot of choices and I'm very much enjoying it. Part 40. As you continue north, the trail you are following joins a wide track coming from the field east of you. Ahead, the gentle burble of moving water warns you that you are approaching one of the conduits that carries the city's runoff water. You soon come within sight of the channel. Its straight eastward flow forms the south boundary of a forming community. The amount of water is low, owing to the seasonal dryness characteristically of early Marpenoth? Is that a month in like Faerun time? Marpenoth? The dirt track you are following will cross this channel at a low bridge next to a gatehouse. You see a torch in the gatehouse window, indicating that a guard is within, ready to challenge anyone crossing this small district. Oh, it's November. Oh. You decide to cut west, leaving the dirt track to avoid the gatehouse and its guard. Your destination is at the head of this channel, where rainwater empties from the city. It should be easy to find. It should be. Go to 41. Real quick, I kind of want to change this music. Can you guys even hear the background? I'm going to play this one, because it's kind of like a sneaky sound. Okay, you can? Cool. It's not too loud, right? Because it's, for some reason, it is way different than what I hear in my earbuds to what you all hear on the stream. Okay, cool. 41. The city wall looms high above you in the west, atop the bluff. As you walk, you find the remnants of several crude shacks, scraps of timber and old canvas, most blackened by fire, lie scattered about. These pieces appear to have once been crude shelters. Moving past these scraps, you follow the sound of splashing water until you reach a swampy pool. The ground is muddy from a pipe high overhead. A steady stream of water falls into the pool, which is in turn drains into an irrigation channel, which draws it eastward toward Undercliff's crop fields. Is this poopy water? In progress, so this needs my... Yeah, I was thinking that these all sound like pretty D&D ass names of stuff. So I was thinking it was probably like the official Wizards of the Coast names for everything. Man, I'm not looking forward to going in poop water. Moving past these scraps, you follow the sound of splashing water. I already did all that. The farmers in Undercliff also use this pool to water their small stock of cattle. Maybe it's not poop water. You find a single cow drinking from the pool. Its hooves sunk deeply in the mud. More cows stand way off, their bulky shapes just visible in the distant darkness. I fit in really well here. The drain pipe in the cliff above hardly looks large enough to crawl into, but that may be a trick of perspective. The climb will be 100 feet up a sheer cliff. The large rope that Belle carries coiled across her torso will be just long enough to reach the ground if tied to the pipe above. One of you will have to climb the cliff to reach the drain pipe and lower the rope down. If you have the poison condition, I don't have the poison condition, I don't think. If you wish to take the rope from Belle and climb yourself, go to 109. If you wish to wait while Belle climbs, go to 18. I mean, yeah, 19. I mean, I think it, I'm not gonna make the gnome climb up there. I'm a pretty beefy boy. I'll do it. I'm guessing that it's gonna be athletics, and I can climb. I'm gonna climb myself. Sorry, chat, that I didn't ask you, but I think this one's pretty obvious. I need to do this myself. Belle hands a long rope to you and helps you sling it across your own torso, and she takes a minute to examine the cliff face with you. The moonlight reveals a surprising degree of detail, and the two of you discuss the best course to the top. Huh. There were 3 routes you can choose from. Hey, Randall, I love getting choices in solo adventures. I love even like minute, like choices that seem like they're not massive, like getting to choose between 3 climbing routes. I love it. There are 3 routes you can choose from. First is a direct climb up to the pipe. The second and third are to either side of the falling water, where the cliff is sure to be dry, followed by a horizontal climb to the pipe. The left-hand route may be the easiest. Belle points out a series of holes in the cliff that may serve as handholds. Although the distance is the shortest, the central route is probably going to be the hardest because of its distance to the stream of water. The right-hand route looks much like the left-hand option, but smoother with no obvious holes to aid you near the top. You will have to go up further to find a climbable area to the cliff in that direction. As you contemplate your 3 choices, you hear one of the cows lowing nearby in the dark, making the deep sound characteristic to annoyed cattle. Probably because I'm such a cool cow next to it. In response, you see some movement of light to the north of you. You see a lit torch in the distance that shapes of approaching people. You only have a few minutes to get into the pipe. Oh. I don't have a flying speed, unfortunately, Randall. I don't know why I would go to the right. I don't know why I would choose the right if it looks like it's just as long as the left, but a little bit harder. The people coming with the torch makes me really think that I probably should go up the middle. I know myself, I'm a strong cow. I've got a +5 athletics. Left, Danny's saying left. And Danny has not steered me wrong yet. We are pretty much, 10 for 10, 100% ratio at this point. So, I'm going to go with you, Danny. I'm going to go left. I was thinking center. Okay, yeah, Danny, you know what? Never mind, Danny. You did make me miss out on getting a pet a dog. No, I'm just kidding, Danny. We did good. I'm going to go left. 34, it said. You climb the left route toward the natural handholds partway up the cliff. The surface is dry, but few handholds are readily apparent beyond that point. If you have a climb speed, go to 111. Otherwise, you must make a... I mean, does everybody have a climb speed? I thought your climb speed was like half your regular speed, but maybe not. Oh, no. Climb speed, like monkeys have climb speed. Just joined. Make a bullheaded decision. Marsperwinkle. That was a good one. So I'm going to make a athletics check. Guess what? That's a +5. Oh, no! I got a 7. Roll with advantage if you have the... No, I don't. If you have a climber's kit. Do I have a climber's kit? Let me peruse my inventory really quick. I don't have a climber's kit. 10. All I had to beat was a 10. So all I needed to roll was a 5. Ooh, high fall. Go to 90. You lose your grip and fall, unable to catch yourself or arrest your descent, bouncing off some rough stone of the cliff into the shallow water. I take 1d6 bludgeoning damage. Oh wait, unless... So I take 1d6 and take half of it. Okay. Let me roll real quick, a d6. Okay, that's not too bad. 5. And you take half rounded down, right? That's how... So I'll take 2 damage. Okay. It's not too bad, so I kind of brush myself off. More embarrassed than anything. So now... I picked the same thing. I definitely don't want to go up the middle now. I think I'm going to have to go left again, right? I feel like now I got a better idea of the handholds. Should I go left, right, or center? I think I should go left again. Because, I mean, I think I could beat a 10. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep falling. Yeah, I'm going to go left again. Oh wait, what did I click? You climb the left route. Yeah, okay. So it's the same thing. Athletics check again. Okay, geez, still not very good. A 13, but at least I passed it. Um, so I got a 111. Oh god, a little embarrassed. As you approach the natural handholds, you hear a faint buzzing coming from them. Oh no! Are they gonna sting my fingies? You hear a faint buzzing coming from them. You are uncertain whether some sort of creature occupied them or if you should keep going. You realize that you're in a very precarious position if something attacks you here, clinging to the surface. So, I can make a nature check. Okay. I'll make a nature check. It's a -1. 7. So I don't know. I can't identify it. So, to press on, to return to the ground. I don't want to return to the ground, right? Oh no, what do I do? Do I keep climbing? Or do I go down and go up a different route? Oh, that's hard. Danny said go fast. So, like, keep climbing? I really don't know which one I should do right now. Keep climbing. Alright. Go to 66. You proceed along your planned route, moving horizontally towards the drain pipe, clinging to the natural holes in the cliff face. As you go, you get a good look into one of the holes where a pair of fist-sized insects are asleep, nestled next to one of another. The droning comes from these creatures' delicate, trembling wings, which flutter even as they rest. The sound steadily sounds like soft snoring. Make a stealth check. Fist-sized insects, like multiple. Make a stealth check. If I fail this, please somebody donate the $2 or 2 bits so that I don't get fucking wrecked by some wasps. I do have a +3 stealth, so I need to beat 10, so I need to roll at least a 7. 21 total. Hairy 3 fingers. Nice. Oh, I did not want to have to mess with that. So I am over the moon about that. 158. You reach the drain pipe safely. A rusty iron grate once covered the pipe's end, perhaps to prevent birds from nesting in here, but something appears to have cut it away, allowing you to climb inside. What looked small from the ground is actually a large enough pipe to stand fully erected. You tie the rope here and drop the end for Belle, who quickly climbs up it. Then you pull up the rope as Belle unties the knot. The two of you move into the pipe before Belle stops to coil the rope around her torso again. 157. With Belle in the lead, the two of you proceed down the long pipe into the darkness within Waterdeep. The water quickly soaks up your feet as it moves along the bottom of the pipe, running in the opposite direction. If you do not have a light source, or another way to see in the light, so Belle's gotta have her torch out. You find it hard to measure time passing inside this long tunnel. You think 10 minutes have gone by when you come to the first intersection. A heavy iron grate blocks the side passage. You can only move forward, but you stop a moment to look as far past the grate as you can. The side tunnel looks no different than the one you're in, feeding a trickle of water into the flow that washes past you. Another few minutes on, you encounter something lumpy in the water. A quick inspection reveals a decayed corpse. You wonder how long ago this human died. Above the corpse, a fluffy patch of mold emits a terrible odor. So I can make a medicine check. Okay, I'll do that. I mean, it's not great. Oh, it's +1. That's better. I thought it was -1. 12. Oh, I could have picked. Oh, I should. No, that's cool. I want to find out what killed this guy. 136. The disposition of this corpse is confusing. It appears bloated in parts, the results of the water flowing around it, but not in the way you would expect. On the shoulder, you discover the answer to this mystery. A pair of holes, each about an inch in diameter, tell you that something first drained the corpse of its blood before leaving it to bloat in this water. Might be the victim of a giant spider. Nope. Well, that sucks. Alright, I want to check on this. Oh, yeah. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna check on this mold now. Nature. Now, that is a -1. And is that a 17? Whoa. My roll 20 is rolling pretty good tonight. Yeah, so I know what this mold is. Let's see what it is. A close inspection of the smelly mold reveals that it is growing atop a mass of webbing. Oh yeah, cool, big spider. It doesn't seem to grow on the surface of the tunnel itself. The size and shape of the web indicates that they once bound to the corpse that lies here. The mold appears to have eaten the webs until they could no longer hold, resulting in the body's current position. Based on these observations, you determine that the substance is web hair, a common hazard faced by dungeon delvers. Web hair that develops into a large patch can release toxic spores. It thrives in wet environments like these, perhaps in its proximity to the giant spiders because it has adapted to growing on their webs. While the mold here smells terrible, its fibers haven't grown long enough to develop the dangerous spores it is known for. Okay, so I know all that information, so now I can go to continue 92. I'm gonna take a quick, just a 2-minute break real quick, and I will be right back. If I can find, there it is. Oh, that doesn't look good at all. Let me position this. Oh, this all looks bad, but here we go. I'm supposed to have a background here and I forgot. That'll be okay. Be right back, everybody. I am back. Alright. Oh, shoot. Alright, so I'm on 92, I am guessing. As you continue up the tunnel, you find several more corpses. One is stuck to the tunnel wall with webbing. The other appears to have been previously webbed, but have fallen into the drainage, streaming past your feet. Traces of the smelly mold grow over every bit of webbing you find. The webs and the corpses are making Belle nervous. She signs danger and bear cave? Well, pointing up the tunnel. Why did she sign bear cave? It's unlikely that these people were exploring the pipe when they died. More likely a monster lives here. Oh shit! Something strong enough to drag the bodies up the cliff and into its lair. Okay. Why did I just say I've been getting lucky and then I read that line? You think about abandoning your quest. You don't want to fight something in these tight confines. Oh no, I should have left my glaive behind and lied myself into that place because this sounds terrible. However, you know that Rufio and Latchbot Boy are more likely to succeed if you meet up with them. You don't want to be scared off by an unnamed threat that you have not even seen yet. I don't have dark vision. No sight. If you cannot see in the darkness but you wish to continue without a light source. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go, Danny and chat and everybody watching. Here's another question. Do I snuff out Danny, or do I snuff out Belle's torch and continue blind, relying on Belle's light vision? Or does she keep the light source lit? Obviously, pros and cons. Pro, I can still see if we keep the torch lit. Con, I will have disadvantage fighting if I'm blind, but then things can't see me as easy. What do you guys think? This one's actually maybe the hardest choice I've had to make yet. I'm really not sure which one for this. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking if they live in this dark tunnel anyway, they probably have dark vision. So honestly, me having a torch or not having torch, it would just give me a disadvantage, but not them. I'll have her keep the torch lit then. You come to a circular chamber with tunnels in 4 directions. Water flows into the chamber from 3 of the tunnels, and it trickles from a hole in the ceiling. The tunnel you are in appears to be the only outlet of the water. An iron ladder hangs down a few feet from the hole above the chamber. The 2 side passages are narrow, blocked by heavy grates. The passage beyond appears to be passable, though curtained off by fluffy moss. Something large is moving between the mossy ropes in the opposite tunnel, retreating from your light source. Belle signs to identify the ladder as your objective. This is the route that you will take up to the runoff channels from the City of the Dead. However, to get to it, you will have to come perilously close to the creature lurking nearby. Seeing that the mossy webs in the opposite tunnels are laden with spores, Belle suggests sending one of her clockwork toys amongst them to agitate the strands. The resulting spore cloud might provide enough cover while you run for the ladder. However, if the cloud extends into the chamber, it might prove toxic. Oh! Randall. Rush to the ladder. Or send one of the toys flying. See, I feel confident in my own abilities to rush to the ladder and just hoof it. Yes, I'm going to keep using that pun. Hoof it up. I'm worried about Belle. I don't know if, like, Belle's going to have a chance or something to fall behind. I don't want to get poisoned for the rest of the adventure, because I'm a barbarian. I have no, well, I think I'm a rogue, but I'm a barbarian. I don't have a way of getting rid of that poison. Then again, if I get to make a check against the poison, I feel pretty good about making that check. Yeah, these are really hard choices, and I like that. I like it when it's not just a real clear cut, you know, this is the smart path, obviously. I mean, this is two things that I think probably both have a good outcome. And like, if I were to put myself in Harry's shoes or hooves, I would be thinking, do I think I could outrun this thing, or do I think I could survive the poison? I really don't know. I really don't. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the run. Cause either way, I really do think Harry's gonna be good either way. I think it's gonna come down to Belle that I'm worried about, but I'm gonna be worried about Belle either way. So I'm gonna run. I'm gonna rush it. I mean, I'm a Minotaur. That's like my whole jam is rushing. Go to 93. You signal to Belle to run. The two of you sprint into the chamber. Belle makes an amazing leap to reach the ladder, and you jump to follow her. Just then, a humanoid figure emerges from the opposite tunnel. The creature gnashes its thick little mandibles and vents a hissing scream. It sweeps a spindly arm through some strands of moss and hurls the fluffy ropes at you. They explode against the ceiling of the chamber, creating a cloud of spores around. So it's still poison! Roll initiative. If your result is 13 or higher, your reactions have saved you and the creature's attacks have come too late. Oh, shoot. I did not think it would be an initiative roll. Ooh, okay. Initiative roll, and if I have to make it a 13 or higher. I've only got a +1. Oh, I got a 4. If the result is 12 or lower, continue reading. The smell clings to you, and you worry about the toxicity. Make a con saving throw. Okay, a con saving throw. I've got a +4 for this. 17, okay. So I made it. I go to 69. Giggity. You climb the wet rungs of the iron ladder, moving as quickly as you can to escape the billowing cloud of spores beneath you. The stench is unbearable. As you climb, you realize you won't be able to come back this way. You'll have to find another way out of the city of the dead once your mission is complete. Okay. So that's not bad. The running seemed to have been, seemed to me to be the same consequences I was expecting for the clockwork thing. Okay. Eventually you see the glow of starlight from above. You exit from a pipe that rises from the center of a large pond. Extending about an inch above the surface, the two of you wade to the shore and assess your surroundings. I don't have the poison condition. So go to 123. Alright. Let me change this music real quick because it accidentally went to the. I really like this one. It's Thieves Guild on Tabletop Audio. Um, you are amidst the 5 mausoleums that encircle the lowest point in the City of the Dead. All the rainwater in the district eventually drains here into a large pond. An overflow shaft allows excess water from the pond to fall into a drainage pipe far below, where it channels out of the city. Under a nearby bush, a picnic lies discarded next to some empty bottles and a broken basket. Deep in this park-like area, you are not in sight of any of the paths that crisscross the district. You recognize the largest northernmost mausoleum in this area as the Merchant's Rest, a tomb reserved for those who can afford burial, and it's a luxury. From where you can remember of the City of the Dead, this mausoleum is right across from your destination, the House of the Homeless. The 2 buildings separated by a single pathway. With your goal almost in sight, you head north into the shadow of the Merchant's Rest. North of the mausoleum, you find an east-west pathway, across from which stands the House of the Homeless. You wait for a long time, looking each direction, watchful for anybody who might walk by. On your left, the path goes directly to the west gate of the district, and you can see the well-lit watchtowers aiming the beams of their oversized lanterns down into the wards on each side of the gate. On your right, you see the flicker of a torch in the distance, and you can hear a conversation. People not trying to hide their voices. However, the lights from both directions fail to reach the place where you intend to cross the path. As you wait, you hear the sudden clash of weapons. An open battle has broken out to the east of you. To the south, in what may be a separate conflict, you hear cries punctuated by a long note blown on a watch horn. The normally quiet cemetery district is quite active tonight. Amidst these distractions, you move north, slipping across the path and hurrying up the steps into the House of the Homeless. Whoa. I thought I was gonna have to choose one of those to go through. I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of hoping it's not like my other 2 members of the gang. But I just says go to 101. By the way, we are killing it tonight, I feel like. 4 broad steps lead up to the doorway of the mausoleum. The House of the Homeless is completely unguarded. You enter a large room ringed by tall, open windows, its center dominated by a wide staircase that descends into the catacombs. Around the walls of this room, dozens of small altars and shrines stand sentinel, representing various gods, beggar societies, and other factions of the poor who end up buried here. Because so many of the dead are nameless, or their final resting plots are uncatalogued, mourners simply leave their flowers, letters, incense, and other offerings of whichever altar suits them. Very few mourners descend into the stairs into the catacombs or pass through the portal below into the demiplane itself. Safely within the mausoleum, you sit down to rest, waiting for the other team to arrive. You wait for about a half an hour, and you're about to press on without your other friends when a silent figure walks up the stairs to the doorway. It's Rufio, and he's alone. Everything's fine, Rufio says before you can ask. We just ran into a bit of trouble. Something important that only needed one of us to manage. I'm headed back to help, but I wanted to come ahead to let you two know to proceed without us. We'll meet you here if we don't catch up. Rufio doesn't give an explanation for a response, and he simply turns and disappears into the night. What? If you gave Rufio any of your two-handed weapons or shield to bring, he returns them before running off. If you wish to investigate any of these shrines before descending into the catacombs... Yeah, no, that's very suspicious. You may do so. Investigate any of the shrines. Honestly, I don't think I would. Like, I don't think Harry would have the intellect, the curiosity, the time to investigate any of these shrines. I'm sure I could get like some bonus boons or something for looking at them, but I'm gonna head down the stairs. The stairs end of a wide hallway with several interesting features. Torches built into the walls gutter and sputter with heatless, ever-burning flames. Massive wooden beams reinforces underground passage built into the walls and brace across the ceiling. Bare fernery alcoves on either side of you give the hall an echoing, empty feeling. 4 narrow side passages lead away from the main hall, but these are roped off and have polite signs forbidding access. An iron archway stands at the main hall's far end. The Archmage Anacastor built this fixture, and the other portals like it, and nearby mausoleums. 1,000 years ago to relieve overcrowding in the City of the Dead. Okay. The opaque energy that fills the archway will transport mourners to a demiplane of endless underground catacombs. The grave tenders long ago removed all the bones and cremation jars from the alcoves, moving them to the new resting place in the demiplane. You take a moment to be sure you are remembering your next steps correctly. Then the two of you duck under a rope that blocks the side passage, continuing about 20 feet to the dead end. There are no torches here, but some flickering light from the main hall illuminates an ornate grate built over a shaft in the floor. Iron post near the hole were the only remnant of the lifting apparatus that once lowered visitors to the 4th floor of the catacombs. You find the 10-foot grate to be surprisingly light. You'll easily lift it off its brick frame, slide it out of the way. The shaft has a faintly musty odor. There must be stagnant water somewhere below. Wasting no time, your companion begins tying the rope to one of the nearby iron posts. 100 feet of coiled hemp rope drop down into the shaft, and you hear a faint sound of the rope hitting the end on the ground far below. Whoa, this has all been chapter 1 and now I'm just now in chapter 2? Holy cow! Randall, if you're still watching this, how much... Oh... I'm excited. Oh no! Really only half of chapter 1. The other yeah. That I'm gonna say again before I start reading this whole big thing. It's crazy that this is a 400+ page solo adventure. If somebody were really looking for a really good, so I'm gonna end tonight's stream probably around in like 20 more minutes, and then plug some stuff. So I got a little bit more I'm gonna continue. So every week, solo rolling is going to be 7:30 to 10. Sometimes, like, the last couple have ended a little bit before 10, like 9:30 or so every time. Um, but so this one, wherever I end in about 20 minutes, we're going to pick right back up on the next one. And I'm going to take notes and I'm going to do a recap at the beginning. But if you've never played a solo adventure, this would feel like you're playing. Like, most solo adventures aren't this long and in depth. This really feels like playing like a long running campaign, especially it being 8 parts. Randall, are all 8 parts going to be this long? That would be crazy. That would be like, what, 40 hours of content if somebody got into it while all 8 of them were, or all 7 of the books. If somebody got into them while all 7 of the books were released, that would be like 40 to 50 hours of content they would have. That would be amazing. All right, sorry to derail so much, but I hitting chapter 2 after 2 hours was crazy for me. All right, let's get going. Light flickers in this dead-end passage cast by the magical torches in the main hall. The rope knotted to a nearby iron post is quite visible to anybody chancing by. This wouldn't normally concern you. The City of the Dead is closed to visitors after sundown, but the degree of activity you know to be going on outside indicates that the burial district is anything but deserted tonight. Leaving the rope unattended seems like an unconscionable risk. You know of no other exit from the catacombs. Your companion agrees to stand guard while you go on alone, but warns you to get back before... Oh no! You've got about 3 hours, maybe 4. Any later and there won't be time to meet the Seeker's deadline. So I'm by myself now. Wasting no more time, you lower yourself onto the rope and descend into the whirling darkness below. The smell of stagnant water rises to meet you. After minutes of crawling, carefully climbing, your feet abruptly find the damp tunnel floor. Not a speck of light reaches you from the hold far below or far above, but you immediately discover 2 torches. I had a torch also in a tinderbox. So now I got 3 torches, I think. Maybe even 4. You illuminate the passage, finding yourself in a long tunnel. It looks exactly as you expected. Ancient timber support line the passage on either side. Their preservation spells don't seem as well maintained as those of the tunnels above. Most show signs of rot on any portion not covered by moss. Crumbling brickwork appears here and there, its flicking mortar making you doubt the structural integrity of the passage. The center of the floor contains a tiny stream fed from leaks in the cracked walls. In the distance, you see where the water has formed a pond, blocking part of a 4-way intersection. As above, burial alcoves appear on either side of the tunnel. These are also empty. The corpses long moved long ago in the expansion of the dryer, Demi Plain, for which the House of the Homeless is well known. Despite these tunnels being long abandoned, colorful graffiti covers every wall and dust litters the floor. Dusty refuse. The area is not well trafficked, but neither is it completely unknown to trespassers. You pick your way past the abandoned ration packages, rusty furniture components, either paint pots and half-old military saddle to approach the flooded intersection. To your right and left, graffiti-marked tunnels extend further than you can see. However, your interest in what lies beyond the pool, the opposite passage, where the tunnel has collapsed. You wade across and climb the pile of rocks on the far side, finding just enough space to crawl over the caved-in rubble. Beyond the passage shows no sign of passengers or trespassers coming this far. A few feet of brackish water cover the floor. and the end of the passageway descends rough-cut stairs into a fully flooded stretch of the catacombs. You douse the torch and prepare yourself to get very wet. Review the sidebar on this page for chapter-specific rules. Oh. Okay, so this is adding some new stuff. Interval time. You will track time during this chapter in 1 minute intervals. Instructive text and options will tell you when to add minutes to this tally. Usually when performing time-consuming activities or when moving between each area. This is an abstract system. Ignore individual rounds you spend in combat or other activities, but do add any time for casting spells 1 minute longer. Don't need to worry about that. If your light sources have durations, which I think torches do, track their expiration. Oh no. If you accumulate more than 60 minutes, you lose a torch. Oh, Randall, no. Oh no, event lost in darkness if your light source runs out. Oh no. Oh no, short rest. If any unoccupied space, you can attempt a short rest. Make a dexterity check, a stealth check, and refer to the table below. Roll with an advantage if the room has less than one access point. Danny, this is not cool. My heart is pounding. Oh wait, where do I go now? Note your current text part before starting your rest. Oh, okay. Review the sidebar and then go to part 253. I know. I don't know. There's not infinite solo adventures for me to run. So maybe, months down the line or a year down the line, whatever, after I've ran like all of the usual ones or like the ones on DM's Guild, maybe I'll go back and like rerun some that I ran that a lot of people liked and like try different paths. But I think with it being 940. Oh no. I need to go back up to where that started. I did see a couple snakes right there and I don't like that. Holy shit. Oh, this is so long. Okay, so I think this is a really, really good stopping point. So just now got into the catacombs. Just read the sidebar for... I know, Dustin, I saw some technicals too. I saw a bunch of crazy shit. So, just because it's 9:40, and I think this is a really good stopping point, getting it right to chapter 2. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna end it here. I'm not gonna continue the adventure anymore. So next week I will pick up right here, chapter 2, starting out, and I am like, I'm no joke right now. My heart is pounding, looking at having to track my time down here and light sources. That's gonna be nuts. I saw a bunch of tentacles. I saw a bunch of snakes while I was scrolling up. So I marked down where I am. Let me see if I can find out what page is it. 119. I'm on page 119. Page 119. Okay. So thank you everybody for watching. If you are coming in at the tail end of this, go to the beginning and watch this whole one-shot adventure, because this thing was amazing. Let me go ahead and just, I'm going to do a couple commands real quick in the chat. So I'm going to blow up the chat real quick. Go, and this adventure is usually $11, which is a steal. Because this thing is like 440 pages long or so. Yeah, 430 pages long. And you can use that link I just posted to get it for $1 if there's any left. Because that link only works for 10 copies, and I think 3 people have posted in chat that they have bought it. So that means that at most there's only 7 left of that. Go grab a copy of this. I will be continuing it next week, same time, 7:30 on Thursday for solo rolling. A couple other things you all can look out for from us here at the Majestic Goose Network. Tomorrow, I'm actually dungeon mastering a one-shot with an amazing cast of all guests for One-Shot Onslaught. That podcast over there in the bottom right corner of the screen, One-Shot Onslaught, was our first podcast we ever created. It is a podcast where we play through 5th edition adventures from DM's Guild one-shots. And tomorrow night I am playing a one-shot that just came out of the RPG Writers Workshop, which I'm very excited to run. I've read it and I like it a lot. And I'm playing it with a lot of really cool guests. So far we have got 4 guests locked down. We might be getting a 5th guest. We will see about that. But so far we have got Brian from Encounter Party. We have got Tim Lanning from Geekly Inc. and Drunks and Dragons and a bunch of shows. We've got another Brian from You Meet in a Tavern. And we have got Kat from D20 Dames. So we've got 4 amazing guests. We might be getting a 5th. We had a different 5th, and then like a hurricane happened, and work came about, and everything, and a bunch of stuff fell through. But so we might be picking up another 5th, but we'll see. But either way, even those 4 guests, that is a stacked one-shot that I am very nervous to run tomorrow night. That will not be streamed. That will only be released on our podcast feed this coming Tuesday. Roll for Weird. We stream on Roll for Weird on this Twitch channel once a month, sometimes twice a month. So follow this Twitch channel if you're not yet. We release it on podcast feed bi-weekly. If you're not following that podcast, please go ahead and go to your favorite podcatcher right now and search for Roll for Weird and hit the subscribe button, because we have got an episode dropping tomorrow, actually tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning. All of our episodes drop on Friday mornings at 3 a.m., the witching hour. And that show is a Monster of the Week show instead of Dungeons & Dragons. Also over there, you will see Halfway to Heroes. Halfway to Heroes is my first ever and only homebrew campaign I've ever run, and we will be dropping a recap episode from episodes 1 to 31 next Tuesday. Not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday following. If you haven't followed that show, definitely go follow it. It is my baby, and leave us a 5-star rating review, and I read them at the end of every episode. And finally, last but not least, Dice Talk is another show that is on our network, hosted by Jeremy Fair and Gerundu, 2 people that if you're following this Twitch channel, you have probably followed us or seen those 2. And it is like a talk show tabletop game where they interview guests and things like that. I will be on an episode coming up soon as an interviewee and a whole bunch of other really cool guests. Also, if you don't know, this coming Saturday, tune in at 6 o'clock Eastern, because we have a new series we are starting called DM's Guild Director's Cut, where we will be having the authors of DM's Guild Adventures Dungeon Master for us their own adventure. And we don't have it scheduled yet, but this Saturday, Um, so much stuff. I know. I can't remember it either. So I'm thinking of it. This Saturday, we have got Steve, who made the A Fright Night, or A Night of Fright. It is a Scooby-Doo Dungeons and Dragons 5e adventure. And he is dungeon mastering for us this Saturday, 6 o'clock, until he said it was probably about 4 hours. And I will be Scooby-Doo, and everybody, I don't know how to do a Scooby-Doo impression, so tune in just to watch me do terrible, as I'll sound like Scooby-Doo. I'll try to practice. I don't know how Scooby-Doo sounds. And yeah, after that, yes, Dustin, we'll still be playing with you. After Johnny moves is probably the next time we will record for Halfway to Heroes and One Shot on Slot. So yeah, very busy weekend. Oh wait, I'm not in that one. Which one are you in? Do you want to be in the Scooby-Doo one, Dustin? You can talk like Scooby-Doo if you want, because I can't. But yes, everybody, we have got a lot of stuff going on. Follow us on all the social media. Right here, this link I'm about to post right here. That is the #1 way to get in contact with all of us. Go to our Discord. We are seriously in our Discord 24/7. We are always hanging out in that Discord. We are so active in that Discord. It's not like the largest population in the Discord. There's like 150 people or so. But other than that, like it's super active. Yeah, it's only 150 people, but those 150 people are super active. Very fun group of people, very welcoming, inclusive group. Just awesome place to hang out. And yeah, so there's a lot going on in the Majestic Goose realm of things. So everything I just plugged, go check it out. And if this is like your only show you really watch on the Twitch channel, that's cool too. And I'll see you next Thursday, same time, same place. And I am so excited for this adventure. Just one more time, go and pick that up right there on that link I just posted. So thank you all for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.